What's poppin' T Squad? It's your girl Keisha, and I'm here with tonight's All Tea, All Shade, Married to Medicine Season 8, Episode 5 review. Make sure you guys check out my Shein Fashion Nova style try on video as well as my living dining room makeover video. I also have coming up for you guys a luxury shoe and bag video as well as how to achieve glamorous formal dress looks on a budget. If you're going to a wedding, you're going to be in a wedding, you're a bride, you're a bridesmaid, you're looking for dresses. If you're going to prom, if you're going to a formal event, I got you. The video is coming up, so stay tuned. So on tonight's episode, Simone calls Toya to check on her after, the argument she and Heavenly had at Heavenly's home. Simone was like, "You left me again," and Toy was like, "I didn't want to be around the drama." She then says Eugene is off work this weekend, so I'm going to invite everyone that knows how to turn up over. I'm going to invite Carrie, Lisa Nicole, and Anila, and she also invites Simone, so they're going to get together. So Kieran is excited that Anila's parents are finally going the fuck home. He tired of them people coming and fucking up his house and leaving food and shit everywhere and being messy. Sick of them niggas. So it's the weekend and Toya prepares for all the ladies to come over. She has on this god awful swimsuit set. Kari arrives and her body is amazing, especially for her to be a woman of a particular age. Her shape was everything. Lisa Nicole arrived and I was actually happy to see her back on the show. I missed her presence, seeing her again. She's still, a classic little petite beauty. So Lisa and Anila speak to one another, and Simone was like, Lisa used to hang out with us, but she left us. So it was like she didn't leave us. Some people chased her out, and they show flashbacks of Lisa getting into it with Quad and Heavenly. I don't think that people pushed her out. I think that her husband, well, no, that's not true because Quad had that one dude come and say that that her husband tried to hit on him, and we all found out that that was a setup. So I think that Quad pushed her out. I think Heavenly was just being heavenly or whatever, but Lisa had a lot of issues with her husband that looked very sickly. That man was not fine. I did just not see the attraction. Like every time I looked at him, I would be looking at him thinking like medic. Like, that man just looked like he dying. He looked like he on his last leg, child. So Lisa Nicole, however, nodded and agreed with everything that Toya was saying. So then they all get in the pool, and Toya tells the ladies that she had a dream about her and Simone having a threesome, and I at that point just tuned out because it was just something that I just mentally did not want to visualize. I don't want to have a dream like that. Like I would have been scarred for life. I wouldn't even consider that a dream. I would have considered that a nightmare. She says that Simone was working the dude over and she got so turned on she was watching, and all I can imagine is Simone with them teeth like no. So Simone was like, me and Cecil are empty nesters now, so I'm trying to get my groove back. And I'm just imagining once again Simone with them teeth. No. So meanwhile Cecil and Eugene are coming all over the food because they so excited about the food. They ain't thinking about no pussy. Simone wig come off in the pool. It was quite funny. It was a cute little girl's moment. So Damon and Eugene visit Scott at the new practice, and Scott tells them that he and Contessa will be both working there at the same time, but part time. So he asks them to help him mount the television onto the wall, and Eugene does pretty much all the work because some other niggas didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Damon even says, I'll help, but I'm not really good at stuff like this. I was like, Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore, how the hell you not gonna know how to be a handyman with your big ass? So Contessa talks to her niece. Her niece is Scott's niece or whatever. About how overwhelmed she is with her and Scott wanting just different things. Scott wants her to be a stay-at-home mom. He acts like he supports her, but to her she feels like he actually doesn't, and she says that he doesn't get her dreams. I don't think that he doesn't get her dreams. I just think that Contessa is so focused on Contessa that she doesn't look at the things and the people around her, and she thinks that her succeeding is them succeeding, but that's not always the case when you're constantly in school or at work or at this event or doing this, that, and the third, and you're neglecting your husband and your children. Like, some dreams have to be on the back burner because you have children that need nurturing and need guidance and need your love and they need your attention as well. And your husband needs you as well. And she needs to focus on putting more attention into that than all of these goals that she has for herself. Or she's gonna lose her husband and her family. They're gonna grow up to resent her. So Eugene mounts the TV, like I said, and he leaves. And it's just Damon and Scott. And Damon says, congrats, man. It's beautiful. So Scott tells him that he and Contessa are getting back acclimated with being around each other because she was going away from school. So they was pretty much living separate lives until she came home on the weekends or whenever she came home. And he says that she was upset that he stopped going to counseling. And Damon gives him advice, and he was like, the times we tried, it just didn't help. It actually made it considerably worse. The guy would almost solidify, and he thought she had against me. So Contessa tells her niece that she would love for them to go back to counseling to address the lack of communication that they have. And the niece says that that's something that runs in their family that they just struggle with opening up. And I was like, girl, well, that generational curse need to come the fuck on because we in a marriage, honey. You gotta learn how to talk. So Contessa was like, if you don't talk about it, it ain't real. It's a survival mechanism. And I agree with that. Scott seems like the type that just don't want to address shit. He just want to leave shit as it is and just keep on going and act like shit ain't happening. So the niece like is these frustrations are that are building up, are you kind of putting up a wall? And Contessa was like, our relationship has been the same for 10 years. And the niece says, is that a good thing? And she says, no. And I agree. If your relationship is the same way it's been the last 10 years, like, y'all need to grow and evolve. Like, it still shouldn't be the same way it was 10 years ago. If their relationship was like this 10 years ago, child cheese. So Contessa in her confessional says we still don't communicate well. We still don't always work as a team, and we're not the nicest to each other. And they show flashbacks of them arguing and all that type of stuff. Scott says to Damon, sometimes I sit back like I married Superwoman. She just won't stop. And Contessa won't sit her ass the fuck down. I love the fact that she's so ambitious and she has all these goals. But once again, she has to remember that she is somebody's wife and mother. Scott in his confessional says, I wanted to buy a boat and she built our practice. And that right there shows is a prime example of their relationship. Scott is at the point in his life where he's worked hard, they've acclimated this, type of money, they have the prestige, they have the home. He wants to enjoy the fruits of his labor at this point in his life. Meanwhile, Contessa want to be every woman. She wants to be the on Time magazine. They're in two different places in their lives. And unless one um concedes to the other side, it's not going to work. It's simply not going to work. And I don't see it working. I don't see it working between them two. I think that they're more friends than lovers at this point. I think that they're with each other at this point because of the time that they've invested and because of the children. Other than that, I don't see a romantic relationship between Contessa and Scott at all. So Contessa in her confessional said, I wanted to invest in me. And there goes that all about me. If it ain't about me, I don't really want to deal with it. And she got to come up out of that, girl. Everything ain't about you, sis. Like Contessa is so about herself. Like, goddamn, bitch. So Damon says to Scott, I think that's the problem some men have. If you limit them from what they've meant to do or potential, they're not going to be happy, man. And then whether they say it or not, they resent you. But like, I've let Heavenly be Heavenly, and she lets me be me. Well, sort of. Sometimes she tries to tell me stuff, but your practice is going to do well because you're not going to let anything but that happen. That's how I feel about marriage. We're not even going to let that come in our conversation. So we're just gonna do well. David cracks me up. So Jackie and Heavenly meet up for lunch, and it pissed me off. It pissed me off. As soon as I saw that they were meeting up for lunch, I just thought of Simone, and I was like, "This would hurt my feelings because this is something that we used to do, and now you're doing it with her. That's like some boyfriend, girlfriend. Like, how dare you do something that we used to do together with somebody else, especially that somebody else that you know I got issues with. And this is why Simone feels the way that she do. Like that was a stab in my heart, and I ain't even got nothing to do with this. Did that bother y'all? Let me know down below in the comment section. And you knew it was wrong when Jackie said, I feel like I'm cheating. I got a new lunch buddy. Yeah, bitch, that was foul. So Heavenly was like, we talked. Simone did the best she could. She made an effort, so that's what you got to do. You always said you could come to me straight, but Simone, you have to tiptoe around. We got to get y'all back together, boo. Call her up for me. And she was like, I ain't got to do it for you. Like, I'm so over this. I don't mind calling Simone. I do appreciate Heavily trying to get them back on track, and she's not trying to be that friend that's trying to keep them separated and apart. But at some point, Heavily does need to just stay out of it because it's not making the situation better. So Jackie calls up Simone, and Simone answers. I was shocked that she answered. And Jackie was like, no, I'm sorry. Jackie says, ask her, can they get together? And Simone was like, I don't know whether or not she knew Heavily was on the other side of the table or not, but she was like, and Jackie was like, I just want to spend time with my friend. Simone starts laughing. You know, there's a nervous chuckle, uncomfortable. And Jackie was like, you make it sound like you're not my friend. And Simone was like, well, I'm willing to sit down and talk. I don't want to put you in a situation and get your hopes up when you're looking for one outcome and I'm not able to provide you with that outcome. I think that Simone is at a place where her feelings have been so hurt and the distance has made the situation worse. And the situation with Heavenly and some Jackie feeling like she didn't stick up for her when it came to old girl from last season and the whole baby thing. I think that there's just a lot of built up anger, resentment, and hurt there for Simone. And she just can't sweep it under the rug and act like this past year and a half or however long has not happened. Um, it's so sad. It's just really sad. I just hate it. I hate it for them. So Jackie was like, well, nothing beats a failure but a try. We'll take baby steps. And Simone says, okay, and they get off the phone. And Heavenly was like, Simone always trying to be difficult. Why can't she just open her arms and be like, girl, you called or whatever? Because sometimes it's just not that simple. It's not that easy. It's a lot there between them two. So Kieran and Anila disagree over their house. Their budget was originally 1.7 billion, but they're up to 3 million. Anila wants to redo the floor. She don't like this, she don't like that. She nitpicking, and he shows her like you acting just like your damn mama. And the camera crew, they do flashbacks to show how much she's acting just like her mama. Ain't never satisfied with nothing. And he reminds her like I was out of work for 10 weeks. Like we need to scale back a little bit. But she's just so determined to have this dream house and not considering the fact that we're in a pandemic. I don't know if some shit might happen where I might have to sit back down again and not work. Like, you need to budget. Like, come on, sis. I felt like she was being so inconsiderate. She trying to keep up with the Joneses, this, that, and the third, and be, impress everybody. Girl, fuck that. Live within your means, ma'am. I didn't really like that about Anila. Like, girl, sit your ass down. She trying to be Toya, and you see Toya can't even be Toya. The rest of the episode was pretty much boring. I didn't even write down any notes. Simone escorted her son off to college, and Heavenly son is interning or whatever at the dental practice. And that was pretty much it for the rest of the episode. It's pretty much dry after that. Hopefully things pick up on the next episode. I give tonight's episode of Married to Medicine overall a C minus. It was Let me know what you thought about the episode down below in the comment section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell button. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.